All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back after a long-awaited return. We had a little bit of a break, but it's Christmas, as you can see. I'm dressed up for the occasion. We just finished. Oh God, we just finished our Christmas reveal, our Santa Fest raffle reveal, and who won the Orlando Magic tickets. So that video is gonna come out first. Make sure y'all tap into that video, hit a like button. Hit that share button, let the world know. We're not going to tell you who it was. You got to go watch it. All right? Simple as that. But we're back. HoopTalk, the podcast, episode 6.
Yo.
Christmas season, holiday season. Cheers. And we're watching some NBA highlights. We've been gone for about 2-3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So many things to talk about, but let's just talk about our favorite moments, guys. What are your favorite moments so far from the time that we missed?
I actually want to ask. I want to start by asking a question that kind of pertains to one of my favorite moments.
Not prepared for this.
Is Taurean Prince the GOAT of the in-season tournament?
I'll counter your question with a question of my own. Is Darvin Ham the greatest coach of all time?
For
the in-season tournament?
For the in-season tournament, yes.
Yes.
Listen, I was
starting the podcast.
I was gonna allow that pause to last as long as you guys made it last. I'm gonna tell you, but I'm glad Tyler pulled the trigger there.
I had to make sure we were clear.
Is Taurean Prince the GOAT of the in-season tournament? It's possible, man.
I mean, him and Darvin Ham are 2 for 2. If they win next year, are we talking about statue?
If they both get fired and end up on a different team and that team wins the in-season tournament, that would be the craziest thing. Imagine if Darvin Ham gets picked up by the Hornets and they sign Taurean Prince and then they win the in-season tournament next year.
Do we build him a statue at that point?
I think we should. I think the NBA is required.
Where is the statue built?
I got a question for
NBA
you guys.
headquarters.
I got a question for you guys real quick about the NBA tournament.
That was one hell of a way to start a podcast.
Taurean Prince and Darvin Ham is nasty word. But I'm going to let y'all rock out. But I got a question now, guys.
Another question.
When does a team lock in for the cup?
It depends.
You get what I'm
is
saying?
Taurean Prince on your team?
It
starts on day one.
From the beginning, in my opinion. From the
You
beginning.
think so? You think teams like hone in on that? Like
No,
they
they've
want to
actually
win
been
it?
really clear. You see all the players talking about they want to, like the players that make the most money in the team say that they want to make money for like the guys that don't get paid too much.
Yeah, I don't know from the viewership perspective what it's doing for the NBA, but I will say from a morale perspective, this is building a very great culture for teams.
Competitive.
This is helping teams really establish that team chemistry that's needed when you see your star guys really putting in maximum effort for the sake of helping, our lower level assistant coaches, our lower level players making minimums. So I think they lock in from the beginning. The level of intensity increases the moment the tournament starts.
Yeah, because it's like they're like little mini playing games. Like that's the vibe I get from them. I was watching the Bucks and Hawks one, sadly, and at least the replay of it, and it was like very intense. A lot of jawing back and forth. Even the Knicks and Hawks one was another intense one. And in my head, I was like, wow, like these stars are playing like they're hungry, but like they're not they're not chasing any contracts, So I like how competitive it's gotten this season to go versus us having to wait until after the All-Star game, third of the season, and now people are jockeying for positions and things like that. I think the season matters a little earlier, and I think the NBA needed that. But the ratings are low; like they're actually really low right now
because the NBA hasn't really figured out how to transition from like a player-dominant league with like a star leading everything, like LeBron, Steph Curry, to teams. It's not just like one player leading everything. It's OKC as a team. It's the Rockets as a team. It's the Celtics as a team.
They got to sell it like the NFL.
I don't think they know how to capitalize off of that.
Well, it's going to take some time because the NFL sells it like that. They don't like NFL doesn't have it's really rare to find like a Patrick Mahomes or a Tom Brady. The NBA has to figure out how they can sell these teams kind of to make it kind of like a cult type of vibe to where like people are like, oh, I'm a Kings fan or I'm a Wizards fan, because I'm a Jets fan. And when I say that starts other conversations. But you can't really say the same thing with basketball. I think you can't be like I'm a Magic fan and it opens other doors to other conversations.
Yeah, but if you tell me that you're a Magic fan, I'd kiss you down the lips.
Oh my God!
Like that.
God, Tyler.
This is a crazy podcast.
And kissing all the lips.
This is a crazy podcast. Listen, this is a great way to return. This is a great way to return.
Great content.
But to answer the original. To answer the original question and hopefully cap off this conversation, yeah, I definitely think they put in the work. This is a dope ass commercial.
It's crazy. Really quick, I just want to interrupt you. Jalen Brunson was one of the people that said that he wanted to win just to buy someone a house in New York.
That's crazy.
Like, just for that. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's dope for sure. I think the level of competition definitely does increase. The Milwaukee Bucks won the championship, the cup. I'm sorry, I keep calling it a championship, but the cup. And the Bucks have definitely been a much different team than what we left them off as when we were potting a couple weeks ago.
I found out why.
Get rid of everybody.
All right, go ahead. Let us know.
The Bucks, I don't know why, but whenever Thanasis is in the arena, they are 9-0 this season.
Oh,
So they removed him. And he talked about it as well, and I don't know if you saw Jeff Teague talk about it, about Giannis. He said that whenever Thanasis is not in the arena, Giannis feels awkward. He plays worse. He shoots terrible. He doesn't feel comfortable in his skin when he's playing. So I think for whatever reason, Thanasis just keeps him comfortable.
I mean,
yeah,
I think
the bond that those guys have is a little scary to me. Like,
Brotherly,
honestly,
almost.
the brother.
well, it's a different culture too.
Oh,
Like
God.
you got to think about it. They watch like some of their siblings. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they had to travel from somewhere else to change their life. Like they slept in gyms together. So like, I wish I had a brotherhood like that or a brother like that. Cause like I can tell that like Giannis feels way more comfortable, and I don't think the word is comfortable. I think the word is like just have that charge on his back, like someone who feels like him and thinks like him and knows what drives him. I think when Thanasis is yelling from the sideline, "Let's go, come on!" I think that kind of gets Giannis going, because Giannis is someone that you need to talk shit to, and then he just levels up and starts playing a lot better. And I love that about him. That's kind of like KGS, like where like you know you can talk shit to him, and now he's gonna start like balling. Kobe also had that. So some people need that person, you know, to kind of get them going, and I think his brother really does get him going, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's been pretty commonly said around the league that Thanasis plays a big role in the locker room for that team, and you know, most people listening to this don't think that stuff matters. And listen, what I say to you is you don't really understand basketball for real. Like these locker room presence, these morale guys, they really do matter. They really do. And you don't see it because, of course, you're from the outside looking in. But these players, they value it. They value it. You know, Jeff Teague talks about it all the time. The Bucks organization is going to talk about it all the time. And, of course, he's there primarily because of Giannis. We get that. Nobody's hiding the fact that that's the case. There's nepotism, no doubt. But at the end of the day, he found a way to make himself useful despite the nepotism. He found a way to get in there. He's like, I get it. You know, Giannis is vouching for me to be here, and you guys are doing this to make him happy. But I'm gonna contribute. I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna do something to make us better. I'm gonna do something to assist our ability to win games, and that's what he does. And oh my goodness,
off the roster.
Yo,
AD
AD is different.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. He's doing a good job, and I respect him for it. But the Bucks definitely have figured it out. That's the original point that I wanted to make, and I'm happy for them. Now I don't think they're at the point where I can say, you know, they're ready to contend for a championship, but I am happy to see the Bucks playing great basketball, because it feels weird when they're not good. It does feel weird because they should be phenomenal. They should be a phenomenal team. They shouldn't be bad.
There's 2 players on that team that I really enjoy watching. 3, because I actually really enjoy Chris Middleton as well. But like Dame is fun to watch, and Giannis, bro, watching Giannis just like run through people is hilarious.
It's outrageous.
Yeah, like he's still doing it. There's still nothing you can do.
Giannis is top 3 most physically imposing players in NBA history.
I think he's up there with Shaq and LeBron for sure.
Yeah, I think he's 3rd on that
Would
list.
you argue he's one of the most dominant players ever? Because of that?
He's under like.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe he's one of the most dominant players ever. But the only reason I don't completely put him in the dominant range is because dominance can really be a whole scope of ways to dominate the game.
Yeah.
You know, Stephen Curry dominates the game. You know what I mean? It's different scopes of dominance.
When I said that, our
Physi-
first podcast, y'all looked at me like I was crazy.
No, we did not.
You were saying something wild.
Yeah, you were saying something completely.
That Steph Curry's just as. Oh, I don't want to bring this back up. Never mind.
You were comparing Steph Curry to Shaq.
Yeah,
No, in the sense of dominance. In the sense of dominance.
The things you say are different. Now you're trying to make it seem like that's what you said, but the things you say in the moment are completely different.
I still can't compare Steph Curry to Shaq.
Either way, that's not the important part. Giannis is the focal point of our conversation here.
Yeah, I hate you guys.
And he's definitely one of the most physically imposing players I've ever seen in my life. There's nothing stopping him. and it's really putting a sour taste in people's mouths because it's like this man really can't hoop like that for real. Like he's not really dribbling out of his mind. You know what I mean? He's not a shooter like nothing crazy. His mid range is much better this year, but he's not really a shooter that you're gonna really be
He's
like.
one of the best mid range shooters in the league.
KG came up to him. KG came up to him and was like, "I see you out there, young bull, shooting the mid range shots, getting great at it." I was like, "Oh yeah, KG's like a mid range assassin too." So if he's giving you those props, you're definitely killing it for the mid range.
You killing it. I was surprised.
Yeah, props to Giannis for sure.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, this is way before my pot. Like I started potting with Giannis, man. It was. I mean, everybody knew he was going to be great. Did you guys ever heard? Have you heard about Giannis's backstory?
Yeah, of course. Everything that happened with him.
No. When he came out here, where he was at, the Hawks were trying to get him before the Bucks.
Yeah,
so
the
not
Hawks
just the Hawks, but also the Mavs.
Yeah, but the Hawks had him in a hotel, like living. They had him stored away. They didn't want no one to know who he was. He was destined to be like great. Just I don't know if he was destined to be this kind of player, but he really is a video game. Like I know we talk about KD. I know we say all these things about KD being really like one of those builds, but he really is like an unstoppable build both ways. Like he's crazy, man.
He came
like,
as a shooter. That's the crazy part. He was actually a pretty good shooter.
He was a decent shooter.
Yeah, then he gained all that muscle and he couldn't bring his elbows above his head anymore. But
Damn.
I wanted to say though, you know who
Let's go for
another
the Dwight
physically
Howard
opposing
fan.
player is?
Who?
Joel Embiid, but unfortunately he has not been playing. It's
Yeah,
been very
I don't know if I
unfortunate.
would put him on a list like that, but yeah, he is physically imposing in general. I don't know if I would put him in a list where he's like one of the most.
Yeah, he's not.
but-
He doesn't use it like
I would-
the other people uses it.
With his finesse, with his
Other
size,
guys.
though, I think he's obviously stronger than Giannis. I think that we can agree there, right?
Yeah.
He maybe not be as quick, but his finesse with how strong he is, it reminds me of Shaq a little bit.
No, I just don't think he utilizes his physical imposiveness. I don't know what the word is. I can't make one up, but I don't think he uses it to the same degree that Giannis or Shaq do. Like he likes to take a lot of mid-range shots. He shoots threes. He likes to get to the free throw line. So that's why I wouldn't put him in that list because he's not utilizing his ability to be physical imposing the way that they are. Their goal is to just beat you from a point of I am much stronger than you could ever imagine being. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to use that to my advantage every single time. There's nobody in this league that can stand in front of me and stop me from getting to the rim.
I thought Zion was going to be that guy, especially when him and Giannis played for the first time and the way it went down. I thought Zion was going to be the Giannis stopper or like the Giannis equivalent of like.
No, he was
He is,
never going to
but
be a
he's
Giannis
not.
stopper, but he could have been from an offensive perspective, yes. He could have been a great physically imposing player for sure.
No,
You don't
yeah,
think he is,
he's
though?
definitely. What?
You don't think he is?
He is. We just don't get to see it.
He's just not like consistent enough. The thing about being one of the most offensively imposing player is health. I think health.
No, when he's on the
durability.
floor, that's all he does. He's
Yeah,
there
for
to
sure.
bruise and bang.
But at a legendary level, like at a level of Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, obviously Giannis, like that's not like Ben Wallace. Those aren't common players. And all those players had one thing in common. They were durable players. They were players that weren't hurt. They're players that were always on the court. And I think that's toughness, right?
Besides Shaq,
It's toughness.
I would say.
it's
Shaq was
all-
injured a lot.
Huh?
yeah,
Shaq
Shaq
was
was
injured
injured
a
a
lot.
lot.
He was?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shaq was
Wow.
injured a lot. He was out of shape a lot.
Wow. Well, I mean, he played a lot more than Joel Embiid.
There's not many players. There's not many players other than Zion who have not played.
And he played when it mattered. Mattered too.
But the point is, when you're looking at physically imposing, I'm saying Zion is physically imposing. He's just injured. That's all it is. So when he's on the court, he's doing that. He's muscling everybody. He's stronger. He jumps higher. That's his game. But we never get a chance to see it because he's
He's a
always
direct
injured.
comparison to Giannis. I would
if
say.
he had
That's
a
how strong
badge,
he is.
he'd be like a silver.
Oh no, I don't think they play a similar style. The way they're looking.
Imposiveness. I mean, like
Oh,
how,
yeah.
how he's able to just bully anybody.
I think Giannis is a step ahead of him, but yeah, I think because it's just because again he's
I
injured,
saw
so we
it.
just never got a chance.
I've seen Zion bully Giannis though. Like I've witnessed that.
There's not many people you've seen Zion really struggle with. Zion does not really struggle with anybody.
Yeah,
No, he
Zion's
doesn't.
gonna bully anybody. Yeah.
But he's gonna get injured most likely. That's the issue.
He's gonna have a harder time with like bigger bodies, like centers and stuff. But like that's that's normal because he is short at the end of the day. And even though he's physically imposing, he still has to get the shot
I
up
read
over
something.
them.
Yeah, my bad, Nas.
Go ahead.
No, I said I read something saying that Zion's not even really 6'7". He's like 6'5". That
I
shit
believe it. A
threw
lot of
me
these heights are
off.
fake.
That's crazy because I thought they were actually supposed to get measured and everything like that for real now. That's how they figured out LeBron was really 6'9". KD's actually 7 foot. Like that's actually kind of crazy.
KD's 6'10".
KD is not 6'10".
I know, that's the thing.
Oh, that was the thing. Yeah.
At 6'10".
It's crazy. The reasons why they say that they didn't want to be that tall was, I didn't want to be a power forward. I'm like, bro, no one's ever gonna play a power forward, KD.
They're doing it right now.
Yeah, he's literally a
I mean, at the beginning of his career, no one was putting him at power forward.
It's better than when they played him at 2 for a little bit. That was kind of blasphemous, I would say.
Yeah, they drafted him as a 2.
Yeah, that was
the
They
original
drafted LeBron
idea.
as a 2 as well.
Yeah.
They drafted Tyson Chandler as a small forward.
They
But
drafted
honestly-
Kevin Garnett as a small forward.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I would say with Kevin Garnett and Tyson Chandler, they do have the footwork to keep up as a 3, but I think that they're obviously better
Tyson
than
Chandler
extra
got a
position.
lot bigger and slower throughout time.
Yeah.
Though.
Like he started off a lot quicker than he was towards the end of his career.
But speaking of teams like the Bucks who are getting better and trying to contend for a championship, what do you guys think, or who are your picks so far? I know it's only been 30, 25 games, give or take. Who are your take? All right. Who are your picks for contenders and pretenders? I'd say let's just do one of each for the sake of time. But
Let's also make this fair. Let's remove the Celtics.
Ooh.
Because I think everybody feels
Yeah,
like the
it's-
Celtics.
I don't think
it's
anybody
about
was.
to be a
I don't think anybody was going
two-peat.
to choose the Celtics. That's
Okay.
too
Yeah.
easy.
Okay, good.
I wasn't, at least.
Yeah,
I'm going to be controversial, but y'all go first.
Man, all right, go ahead. Yeah, you first, Tyler. I'm not gonna lie.
So contenders for the actual championship?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not to say they have they're going to win, but there's an actual legitimate chance something could actually happen.
I've been very clear about this, and you guys kind of doubted it, but I do not feel any differently about the OKC Thunder. Their ability to continue their defensive prowess without having Chet Holmgren on the court shows me that in crunch time, when it really matters in the playoffs, they have 6 different lineups that they can throw out that are going to work defensively and offensively just the same. Obviously, you do want a center. Obviously, Chet is much better on the court to have. But you guys saw with that rip and run lineups that they had, where it was J-Dub at the center, where it was Alex Caruso at the center sometimes, Dort sometimes playing the center. They figured that out how to work very well. I think that they're a real team. I think that they are primed to win the championship. And I mean, they have a very big roadblock over in the East when it comes to Boston. But I do think that they also match up very well against Boston. What do you guys think?
Is that a cough attack?
Bro's dying over here.
I think OKC has just got that plug-in player ability with all the pieces. They have a bunch of players that play 2 to 3 different positions. So I feel the same way I felt about them last year. I just feel like I need to see them in the playoffs. And that will tell me. But for right now, I think they can do good. I think they've matured. I think a lot of their players' games have matured. They've gotten a lot more better on defense, way better on defense, and not just by rankings. I'm saying actual the eye test. They're on a string. It's actually pretty
and they were
pretty
already
dope.
good defensively last year. That's the crazy part.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going by ranking. I'm going by what it looks like, and what it looks like, it looks a lot better. And they really know how to protect the 3-point line. It's insane. It's insane.
Not only that, they know how to attack centers with a small lineup.
Yep. For sure.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, same as you. I don't feel. My opinion hasn't changed, but in a different way. I don't think they're contenders. Just because I don't believe everybody on that team is ready. I think Shea is the only player on that team that is prepared, and that's why I've said it in the podcast in past season. It's Shea's timeline is way different than theirs, and I don't think a lot of people really want to accept it, but it really is. Shea's timeline is different than theirs. Those other guys are very young, or at least young to the league. Maybe age-wise, they might be older because of the fact that they did some time in college or whatever, but their time in the league, they are younger. That's why I've said it in the past. Shea's timeline is different than theirs, so it's going to be very interesting to see with all the draft picks, with all the developing stars on that team, how is Shea's career going to go with this team in the long run. I really am interested to see how long can he stay in OKC where it's reasonable for him and them. I think he's the only one that's prepared right now to go to the playoffs and compete at a championship level.
I think J-Dub and Caruso and Dort.
Yeah, I think those players are ready. I think there's some players that are
But
ready.
players like Dort and Caruso are not going to carry a team in the playoffs. They have to ride the coattails of the stars who are going to do the heavy work, and they need to do all the little things that matter to win. So It's up to Chet and J-Dub to go in there and be the second option that Shea is going to need. And they're doing phenomenal in the regular season. Chet has been injured, but when he was healthy, or when he was playing at least, he was having a great start to the season. J-Dub has been a phenomenal player, and he's going to be great. I think once the playoffs come, if J-Dub can go out there and compete for 4 rounds, I have to see it. That's my.
You don't think J-Dub's ready?
No, I don't think just yet. I think next year is the year. That's to me. That's how I view them. Next year is the year.
I want you to remember, J-Dub averaged 19-7 in the playoffs last year, and they went against the team that went to the finals.
Well, that's great. That's
in their first ever playoff run together. I think that's a great sign.
It is.
I think that's enough for them to make it to the I think that's enough for them to make it out of the finals in the West. I don't think that they beat Boston, though. I will say that. I don't think that they do.
No, I don't think they beat Boston either. But in the West, yeah, I think that's my thing. I think from a contender perspective, I'm looking at you as, can you put a performance together that's going to beat Boston? That's the thing. And Boston is a phenomenal team, but we have to remember these teams continue to be phenomenal every year, but they're never going to be unbeatable. There's no such thing as unbeatable, especially because anything can go wrong. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's not even about injuries. I'm not even taking injuries into consideration. Anybody can go through a slump. You know what I mean? Anybody can get locked up in one series. You may not be locked up the whole playoffs. You may not be locked up during the regular season, but you can get locked up in 4 games. You can get locked up in 2-3 games.
But
and
they won without even playing well last year.
The difference changes.
That's why I'm worried about that team.
Yeah, because the teams that they were going up against were also not phenomenal teams. You know what I mean? So I'm saying for me to view you as a contender, at your best, are you capable of winning a championship against the Celtics? That's really what it comes down to. At your best. And can I guarantee you're going to be your best? Probably not. I have more faith the Celtics will be at their best than anybody else. But my contender would be the Bucks. I do believe the Bucks. I've always been a bandwagon Bucks fan. I'm not actually like a Bucks fan, but I enjoy what the Bucks, the product that the Bucks can put together. And I do believe the Bucks at their best, not to mention with the possibility of the trade deadline and the improvements that they have the ability to make. I do believe that at their best, they are the fully capable of actually going up against the Celtics and winning. But like I said about the Thunder, the only team in the league that I trust to be at their best would be the Celtics. So that's really the problem.
That's why I had to disqualify them.
Yeah, that's where it has to be. But I think that about every team in the league, every 29 teams in the league that's not called the Boston Celtics, I do not trust them more than the Celtics. But in an alternate reality where somebody can put together a performance where they're out there clicking, where they're out there playing their best basketball, their star is playing like an MVP, their second star is doing their job, their role players are doing their job, I do believe the Bucks are built to have a phenomenal performance against the Celtics if they can click. But that's the problem. I don't believe anybody can click more consistently than the Celtics can. Yeah. That's the problem in it all.
Their
but
cohesiveness
in a
is crazy.
in a fun environment where we're talking about our contenders, that would be my contender.
Because the Celtics dealing with injury are still 21-5.
Celtics are they're gonna win again. I don't see anybody beating the Celtics for a while. When it comes to like dominance of a team, I think they're like when the Warriors had their run, or when Miami had their run, they're one of those teams that we know they're gonna probably be in the finals. But my contender is Dallas. I have been watching a lot of Dallas basketball lately. I know you guys probably thought I was going to say the Hawks. But, no, it's Dallas. I'm fucking playing. I'm playing. Nah, Dallas, I think.
Blasphemous, but not as blasphemous.
I think what they're doing with Klay Thompson and kind of like they're putting him to where he's not playing as hard and not, they're not using him as much as they need to until the playoffs is going to be good. I think when he has it clicking, that team is scary because they're so spaced out for Luka and Kyrie. And then they got PJ as well, who I obviously think is a good defender at times. Also, Klay Thompson, also another player who's a good defender at times. I think everything complements everything. And if the rumors are true and they do end up getting Herbert Jones, I just feel like they have probably some of the best wing players.
If that team gets Herbert Jones, I would have to change my mind because
that's it.
Like defensively, I don't know who they would have to give up because they most likely it's going to be Gafford.
Maxi Kleber.
No, they were talking about Gafford or something like that.
Yeah, but still, I think it's necessary if they're going to want to win to go back to the finals. And not even win the finals when they need to play the Celtics. They need to be stronger at that wing.
Where would they put him?
Who?
Herb Jones.
He could play the 4.
But no, because
Okay.
P.J. Washington still is there.
He can come off the bench. I'm not saying he's a starter. I'm just saying that's another.
I think
player.
Herbo Jones is a phenomenal player. I have nothing but utmost
Should be a 2 or
positive things
3.
to say about him. But I don't believe a player of his style can thrive off the bench and make the impact that the team's going to need.
That's what they
from him.
need, though. They need to become deeper at the wing, and whether it's him or PJ starting, it doesn't matter. I think PJ's a better starting player because of length and how big he is. But it doesn't matter. They could start Herbert to me. But regardless, they need that tough-nosed wing defender who can run to the corner and hit shots.
He's not a power forward, though. He's also started the season shooting very badly as well. So,
Well, I mean, things can change in a different environment. I'm just saying.
I think Herbert Jones makes more sense for the Bucks. That's the rumor that I recently heard, and I was
You
going
as
to bring
well?
that up.
I guess his name's in a lot of different trades then.
He makes more sense because right now they're trickling through shooting guards. They can't figure out who. First they started with Gary Trent. That went nowhere. Now they got this new guy who's playing pretty well. Don't even know his name, but he could easily be a different guy. He could easily be replaced with Herbert Jones. But you put Herbert Jones at the 2 for them, and that's a game changer. I don't believe a defender can truly impact the game enough off the bench. Once you bring him off the bench and you minimize his role, you're asking him to guard up in situations where is guarding up the most important thing we need right now.
He's usually going against bench players, and
Exactly. When you're
how many
bringing
6 men are going to cookie like that?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like if you need a defender off the bench, that's not really the goal, in my opinion, for success. But I think the
is
Bucks.
he a starter in the NBA?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Herbert Jones, there's not a single team I would put him on where I would not want him to start. He
Whoa.
is that good of a defender. He is like a Lou Dort level defender to me.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal defender. One
That's
of the best
exactly
in the league.
what Dallas is missing is a great on-ball defender. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not
But
saying what you're
two-
saying is not wrong.
But the two players that are guarding the on-ball players are Kyrie and Luka. So like, where are you gonna put him? Like
That's not true. You can go guard the person who has the ball the most.
Yeah, so you're
And
gonna
Luka
put
can
him
go
at the
somewhere
power
else.
forward. You're gonna put him at the power forward, and then how are you gonna put your matchups? That's the thing that's gonna be the struggle. That's why I don't think he's the right fit for them. Just because he's a good player doesn't mean that he's gonna be a good fit for them. I think it doesn't make sense to add him there because now your lineups is just going to be very weird. Your rotations are going to be very weird. And
Well, I mean, you're playing small ball at that point, and I think you need to have that type of like diversity, and you got to be able to switch your play styles up versus for certain teams. And having that jack of all trades where you can put them at like 4 to 3 different positions, it's like okay, yeah, we have someone who we can plug in at a certain pace and give us something, a spark. He's a shooter, maybe make some shots. I'm not saying, I mean, obviously his primary thing is being a defender, but I'm not sure. I guess what my take is, I think he's a spark plug more than anything. I think he'd be a great spark plug for them coming off the bench because that bench isn't the best bench right now for them, and I think it just beefs them up.
I don't think defenders can thrive off the bench. I can't even think of a defender who came off the bench and was making a gigantic difference like that. They exist for sure, but it's like it's
The
rare.
last one was Lou Dort.
You
He
can
became
get-
a starter.
You can give him a chance for sure. You can definitely give him a chance. I'm not saying you cannot give him a chance, but it's very difficult to make that work. And listen, if Jason Kidd got the coaching ability to do it, then listen. Go
If
for it.
anybody though, he's one of the most creative coaches. It could be him though.
No, is it? Okay, but
You don't think he's creative at all?
Not in a good way. Not in a
Yeah.
good way. Not successfully
He's
creative.
experimental though. As fuck. He's the reason Giannis. I mean, we can't lie. He untapped Giannis.
Giannis had some good seasons with him, but he had his best seasons after him.
Yeah, of course. But he uncapped what Giannis was. They
Mike-
hired Jason Kidd for Giannis.
Mike Budenholzer showed us what an MVP Giannis looks like. That is
Yeah.
who unlocked
Jason
Giannis.
Kidd tried to show us what point guard Giannis looked like, and that
yeah.
wasn't it.
Jason Kidd was not the one who unlocked Giannis. Mike Budenholzer put the system that made Giannis look like the best player the basketball scene has ever seen.
He had Brook Lopez shooting 10 threes a game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the year Brook Lopez. Isn't that the year that Brook Lopez started shooting threes?
Yeah.
Around that time of the year. Like,
That's the thing.
Started on the Lakers, but yeah.
yeah, the Lakers, right?
He even did on the Nets, but no one talks about it.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a consistent thing for him. But either way, I guess pretenders now, since we're discussing our contenders.
I would
I'll
say.
Go, oh, you
okay.
can go. Never mind. You
No,
can
go ahead.
You can go. You started talking first. Go ahead.
You started talking first. You actually introduced the idea.
I'll go if you guys don't
all right,
go.
go ahead. Perfect.
I'll go ahead. Actually, should I go?
Oh my God.
Just go.
I'm gonna be on this podcast forever.
The Rockets. I do think that the Rockets are pretenders. I don't think
never
that
thought they
people
were contenders.
really believe that they're contenders, but I think that Ime is a great coach. I think that they're young, and this is going to be their year to get experience. And then they're going to trade Jalen Green, hopefully, because I do think that he's just not conducive to that team being successful, and that's where they really make their move.
I don't even think Ime thinks they're contenders.
Yeah, he
actually
said that.
He does it. He
said that to
that.
Harden. He's like, "Don't come over here. We're not winning anything right now."
I don't think he expected to do as good as they're doing.
No, I think he could definitely expected that they would do much better or even
But they're not
as good now.
contenders.
But I don't think he would ever sit there and think this is the team I'm going to win a championship with.
Not yet.
But he's definitely building that. He's definitely building that. They're going to get there. But go ahead. What were you saying?
Denver. I should have put Denver up there as a contender, bro. I forgot how good they're playing right now.
Yeah, but
I don't think Denver's playing that good.
No, they're playing pretty solid.
So are you going to go or not?
But for pretenders, you go ahead, Nas, because I had mine and I lost it. So you go ahead.
My pretender is the best team in the league on paper, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
That was my pretender.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I believe they're a pretender. I don't respect regular season success.
Me neither. I've seen it before.
Dunk.
How can you consider the 10th seed a contender, though?
Because I'm looking at the potential of what they can be. I don't see the potential of anything. I see the peak. All right, now this is peak Cavaliers. And I don't believe this wins the series against the Celtics.
Yeah, anybody.
I even said it when we were on the phone. They have the ability to still lose to the Knicks, too. I would put them over the Knicks if I had to bet and put money on it. But if the bet is small enough, I'll pick the Knicks. If I'm betting my life on it, then maybe I'll go the Cavs.
Oh, my bad. I thought you said Lakers. My bad. I don't know why I thought you said Lakers.
I'm not going to lie. I think the Knicks are right now better than the Cavs.
No, they're not. But either way, the point is the Cavaliers, I believe, are pretenders. I think they're a phenomenal team. I think they have a great building blocks around them. All those players do so great. Garland is having a great season. Mobley is a great player. I love Jared Allen. I would love for the Lakers to trade for him. So many pieces on that team that are just great. And, I got nothing to say, nothing bad to say about them. It's just I don't see this translating in the playoffs. I really don't. I don't see this translating in the playoffs. Conference finals is the best I could see, and that's a great accomplishment. But I don't see this core ever winning a championship. I don't believe that this team has a championship in their future.
Two small guards is very hard to work with, especially when they're not good defenders.
Even
if you surround them with three other really good defenders, that's still just perimeter shots that are constantly being hit. And that is their weakness right now. It's the perimeter.
The reason I keep saying I've seen this before is because, and I'm not saying a play style or the certain kind of team. I'm just thinking about, like, the Hawks. Like, I did not think the Hawks were going to do anything in the playoffs when they went on that year where they won 66.
Because they had to go against LeBron. Anytime you go against LeBron, I'm betting against
Regardless, I just didn't. I didn't even see them as like a.
You don't think going up against LeBron is the equivalent of going against the Celtics right now?
The Celtics back then scared me more than the Hawks did. And I also saw it with
no. There's no way.
The Celtics team, LeBron playing that Celtics team, running into Rajon Rondo and them.
They didn't
scared me more.
He wasn't on that team in 2015.
No, I'm saying I had more fear for LeBron going against a Celtics team versus whatever Hawk team they had. That's what I'm trying to say. That Hawk team never had. I had no fear, and LeBron lost 4 times to them that year in the season. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, the Celtics, when LeBron go against the Celtics, I'd be more worried. I'd be a little bit more scared. But I had no fear. Another team I've seen like this is the Trailblazers. 2 small guards. Nothing happened during the playoffs. They were unable to guard. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to become unable to guard when the playoff starts. There's going to be mixed matches. You got Knicks. They're big. They play with wings. They don't really have a 2 guard. You also have the Celtics, another wing-orientated team with 2 big guards as well who are defenders. I just don't see this translating into, like, I honestly don't see them getting out the first round, but, the second round. I don't see it. I mean, maybe the first round, but not the second round.
The Cavs?
I
don't think they got the first round?
Semifinals.
No. You got to stand on what you said. You said first round first.
I can't do first round.
You said first round, and then you followed up with second round. You can't backtrack.
No. I had to think about it. They can get past the first round after the first seed. But that second round, they're not winning that. I'll put money that they don't get past
I'd like
that
to
second
petition
round.
we return to this 2015 Celtics conversation for a moment, just to get a couple things off
Not
my
the
chest.
2015 Celtics, obviously.
that was the
I'm
year.
not saying that.
You were really
But that was the year.
The Miami Heat team, that the LeBron went against, and they were down 3-2, and LeBron had that crazy ass game.
You were talking about the Hawks. That's
I'm just saying, when it came to LeBron and the fear of whatever team he played.
But you were talking about the Celtics, though.
Yeah,
well, now, where did the Heat come from? Were the Heat good that year?
That's like saying that Shaq was afraid of the 1984 Celtics.
You guys said LeBron. Any time the East had LeBron, right? You guys said it went through LeBron, right? Yeah. What I'm saying, I did not care about the Hawks at all. They didn't have any fear when they beat LeBron 4 times that season. What I cared more about is the Celtics teams when he would play that KG Celtics teams, because I've seen him lose to them. You get what I'm saying? So I could have seen the Heat go down and lose to the Celtics, and the Celtics win at home. But LeBron had that amazing game.
How do you think Steph Curry felt about the 1972 Bucks with Kareem?
I mean, he didn't play them, but LeBron also did play that Hawks team, and he played that Celtics team. So that's
I don't even understand. So that's fine. I petition that we take it back and we don't have to talk about it, because now you're just not making sense.
What are you confused about?
Like what? Exactly, the correlation is outrageous.
The fear.
I'm more afraid of the Showtime Lakers than I was of the 2014, 2004.
I'm saying the teams LeBron has faced. The teams LeBron
I was more afraid of the 2007
Of course you were more afraid of the big 3 Celtics, but I don't understand the correlation. Of course you were.
What I'm trying to say is this Cleveland team is not nothing. I'm not worried about them. They're like nothing. They're just winning games for no reason. They're gonna lose in the playoffs. There's no zigzags.
We're on the couch and you're in the bathroom talking to us right now. I don't know what you're saying.
I don't either. I don't get it at all.
I know I made sense.
That correlation was outrageous.
I don't know how to explain it.
Outrageous.
You guys said LeBron. You guys said LeBron, right? Every team has to go through LeBron in the East. I said I was not worried about that Hawks team. I would put more fear. More fear would give me that Celtics team that LeBron had to face. That's what I was. Are you guys still lost?
No, I get what you're saying. I don't understand why you're saying that. Like, where?
Because that's how I feel
about the Cavs. What's the correlation there?
I feel like the Celtics are going to whoop the Cavs' ass no matter how good the Cavs play this year. I don't see any.
No, I think it'll be a
type of scenario that they beat the Cavs or the Knicks.
I actually think the Cavs take a game or 2 from them.
I don't.
I think agree. I have them as my pretenders, so we're on the same page on that aspect at least. But
I don't think that they win, but I don't think they get swept.
Yeah, I don't think they get swept either. But
I don't think they pick up the second round. I'll say it on the second round. I don't say it on the
first. They play games. They're a good team, and Donovan Mitchell will be going off in the playoffs. But
yeah, he's untouchable.
Yeah, they're a good team at the end of the day. They're going to win games, but winning games don't mean nothing.
Especially against the 2015 Hawks or the 2012 Celtics.
Right, exactly.
You guys, you know what?
Did you give your pretender? Oh, the Rockets, right?
Yeah. I can give a real one if you want.
Yeah,
you didn't give yours.
I said the Cavs.
That's
how the whole conversation started.
I want to add one. I do think the Knicks are pretenders as well. I don't think that you could win with the center as bad defensively as Cat.
I wouldn't call them pretenders. I don't know why. I don't know if they qualify as pretenders, but yeah.
Oh, anyone can walk in? I got you.
What happened?
Big Bodega Cat.
I got you.
I agree. I don't think the Knicks can accomplish enough. But I do believe Mitchell Robinson could compensate for a lot, especially rotation-wise. But we'll see how it goes. That's a team that they can really go supernova, and that's really what is going to carry them. I just don't know if I would depend on them to do that.
Because you do have to match up with them offensively, and offensively, like, they don't really have anyone that's weak. Josh Hart is their weakest offensive player, and it's still Josh Hart.
Yeah, I think every other team in the East is going to have great series against each other, and they're going to do great stuff against each other, and then they're going to go up against the Celtics, and then it's all going to die from there.
Yeah, I think that's all the way to the championship for me. I don't even think that stops at the East. I think everything runs through the Celtics right now.
I think the West is where it gets a little bit more iffy. I think if they go against OKC, which I think is a matchup, I think that goes to 7.
Yeah, the thing about the West is going to be it's going to be chippy. Like, the West is going to be like what the West is every year. It's going to be some good playoff basketball in the West. So I don't know. I don't even really know. Like I said, I like Dallas coming out, but Minnesota can get hot. OKC can get hot. Like, there's so many teams that could end up. Denver can end up winning it still. Like, so many teams. Have you guys heard about MPJ being possibly traded?
I would hate it because there's a trade rumor of him going to the Heat for Jimmy Butler. That doesn't make sense for the Nuggets to me.
Yeah, I was reading.
I don't like that at all. What do you guys think?
I think Jimmy Butler will be a great fit for the Nuggets.
Yeah, I do too.
Their issue right now is perimeter shooting.
Yeah,
that is their issue, and losing their only perimeter shooter.
I mean, he's not the best perimeter shooter though.
On that team, he is right now, and Christian Brown.
Gotcha.
It's not Braun. But either way, yeah, I think Jimmy Butler would be a great fit for the team. Personally, I understand that it won't solve the issue that they're having, but I do believe it creates a lot of good for them that can compensate for the issue that they're having. I think he's another playmaker that can be added to the team, which, realistically, the second best playmaker is Aaron Gordon, if you think about it. And he's not like a playmaker. He just, he can make a play, you know what I mean? But you're not like depending on him to come down and just create stuff. I think having a Jimmy Butler type of player could really help a lot defensively.
I think he's more creative than people give him credit for. Like, I was watching a couple Miami Heat games. I had a bet on them, and I was watching him pass the ball, and a lot of like their offense flows through like Jimmy. So I agree with you on that take, Nas. Like
Miami, of course it does. Yeah. He's their best player.
No, but I'm saying like he touches the ball every play. Like it's kind of weird. But what I was trying to say is what you're saying. Like it's true. Like he's
Why is it weird?
Not weird, but I'm saying like
it's exactly what you're supposed to do when you have a franchise player.
Well, I would think they'd run it more through Bam, but that's just my opinion. But
Bam was just too weak-willed.
Weak-willed? Wow. Jesus Christ. Nah, but what I was trying to say, Nas, you're right. Yeah, he's a lot better passer than people give him credit for. He's a way better passer than people give him credit for.
I wasn't saying that. I think people give him credit for being a great playmaker. But now that we're on the topic of trades, that's actually the last thing I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you guys have given it any thought, but what is one trade that you guys feel like could really propel a team to the next level, to really bring them from, we don't really stand a chance right now, but if we make this move, what do you guys think that move is for y'all?
This is a hot take, I just don't think it's realistic. But we were talking about the other day, Nick Claxton to the Lakers.
Yeah,
I think would fix a lot of issues. And I really do think in this one situation, the Lakers would be able to give up 2 picks because they have 29 and 31 I think they can give up. Those are very valuable picks for the Lakers. The Lakers, when they do not have a superstar, and it's every couple of years, are not a good team. They are very, very bad. And sometimes even with like Kobe, with LeBron, we've seen that they're lottery teams. I think taking a risk and trading Dorian Finney-Smith and Nicholas Claxton to the Lakers would be a good move.
That's a good
I think take that risk with that pick.
I think it would be a great move too, but I do think we have to make other moves to make it work. But if we can get both, for sure, that could really solve a lot of different things.
It's going to be hard to get both, though.
Not really. Dorian Finney-Smith isn't like a super valuable
You have some
player.
young assets you'd be giving up. Max Christie, for example, would definitely have to go. And I also, unfortunately, think that Dalton Connect would be going in this trade as well.
Whoa.
No, I doubt that.
I don't think they're trading.
I doubt they would do that.
Yeah. They don't want to let go of Rui either. They made that very clear. They think Rui's a pivotal part to their future.
I don't think that you move Rui in this situation because Rui does offer something that Rui offers the ability to have a big that can create his own shot. He has a big body. He may not be the best defender, but he can be posted up on, and he's not just going to get beat, which is great.
He's a good mid-smash player.
I think that you trade Vanderbilt instead, actually.
I forgot they had him.
Yeah.
I actually think the trade that would make the biggest difference in the league right now is literally what I talked about earlier, and that's why I mentioned it, because I was preparing myself for this conversation. But I genuinely do believe Herb Jones on the Bucks completely alters the entire scheme of what that team is and solves damn near every problem they have. I think defensively, they just aren't the overwhelming superpower that they used to be, and that was because they lost Jrue Holiday. Now, I'm not saying Herb Jones plays defense to the caliber of Jrue Holiday, because it's more than just being a great defender. Jrue Holiday just does a lot that makes that great defense stand out in different ways, but I thought he almost made that. Yeah. But my point is Herb Jones is such a phenomenal game changer defensively, and putting him at the 2 guard with that length and with that ability. He has shown ability to shoot in the past. He didn't start that way this year, but I think he could pick it up and be a solid average shooter for them. He's a great cutter, just overall great plug-in player to have. I really do believe he makes a gigantic difference for that team. I really do.
I think it's time for the Pelicans to give it up. So I would agree with that. I think Herb Jones does need to be on the move somewhere.
Saw this.
I would love him on the Lakers too, by the way. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. But I saw this one And this is more of like Orlando's take. So obviously, George just judged this on an Orlando meter. Zion, the Golden State. I saw that, and you guys know how I feel about that. Would be a really good Tatum.
Excuse me.
But another one that I saw was Miles Turner's to Golden State, and that one I actually loved a lot. And I think that would be amazing for them.
The issue is, why was the Pacers trade him?
They're not playing good basketball right now, and it's more so for their future and getting rid of that contract. I think Golden State, a Miles Turner Golden State with Draymond and all those shooters that they have. Well, not all those shooters. Let me not say that. But the shooters that they do have, and Miles Turner also being a pretty decent three-point shooter with spacing, I think he'll fit right in with that team. I really, really love that trade.
If they trade
I disagree.
Miles Turner for that reason, Kevin Pritchard is getting fired. Kevin Pritchard deserves to get fired, I think.
Yeah, Miles Turner, for one, he's not a game changer. That team is not good enough.
They don't need a game changer.
100% do. 100% do. They need a game changer. They need a star for Curry. They need a star. That team is not prepared for Curry to carry them to a championship.
They should get Jimmy Butler.
And as long as they have Stephen Curry, their goal is to contend for a championship. There's no world where we have Stephen Curry in the books and we are going to go out there and play for picks and play for youth and for the future. Until he says he's ready to go, we are going to contend for a championship.
No, they're giving up picks. Well, I guess I get.
No, I know. I'm not. That part wasn't correlated to what you're saying. I'm just saying there's no. As long as they have Curry, they're contending for a championship. Adding Miles Turner does not make the difference that Curry needs for them to win a championship. The spacing doesn't matter. He needs a star. He needs a tag team partner. He needs a co-star to go in there and take the load off because he's older. He needs to be able to play off the ball. He needs to be able to sit in the corner a couple possessions and rely on his team to get a bucket, to get something done without him having to do all the work because the man's getting older. He's nearing 40 every year, more and more. So Miles Turner doesn't make enough of a difference.
I would love a Jimmy Butler trade for Jonathan Kuminga, maybe Podzminski. I can't say his name. I think that would make sense. But Miles Turner is too integral to the Pacers system right now. Miles Turner allows them to play this fast speed offense where he could still shoot. I think it matters because they're in the playoff run right now.
In fair, the report was Miles Turner and Jimmy
plenty
Butler
other teams
to Golden State. Like those two players going.
There's no way Golden State's going to.
That was the report. That was the report.
Getting who?
Golden State to have Jimmy and Miles Turner. Which, that was the report. I don't know how they can make that work. I'm not saying I knew if it works or not. What I'm saying is that's what I read.
Yeah, but Jimmy would be the piece to make the difference.
I don't think Jimmy pushes the needle like that, though, like you guys think he does. I don't think that makes them better than Denver. I don't think that makes them better than Timberwolves.
I don't think anything Golden State can do makes them better, but it's about creating the illusion that we could be. That's what you have to do right now. You have to create the illusion. You have to make Curry happy. And if Curry believes it, then that's what we're going to do. So the first question we're going to ask ourselves.
Curry wants?
Yeah, I think Curry wants to win.
Jimmy Butler specifically?
I don't think Curry has a specific player.
I think a player like Jimmy would make him happy.
The only two players I think Curry specifically wants is LeBron and KD. I think everything outside of that
would be the dream one. LeBron and Warriors. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think LeBron is washed up. He's not washed up. I'm lying when I say that, but.
No, I don't think he's washed up either, but I don't think LeBron and Curry are at the stage of their careers where they can be the focal point of a team winning. And I don't think Jimmy and Curry are either, but it's about giving him the illusion that he can be happy, that they can win. That's all it is. But
they have a nice playoff matchup at least. Yeah, maybe 1 round, 2 rounds.
Yeah, Jimmy's a winner. Like at the end of the day, Jimmy's a winner. Jimmy
wins
games.
Who knows? He might just take over the whole West.
Yeah, Jimmy wins games. Like we can't just keep watching Jimmy astound us every year, and then the next year we try to act like he can't do it again. We can't just keep doing that every single year of our lives.
He tricks us in the regular season every single time, so we get comfortable.
Like
and then he smacks us in the back of the head in the playoffs.
He knows how to win, and Jimmy can help the Warriors be far more competitive. And are they going to be better than OKC? Are they going to be better than the Nuggets? Probably not. But it can create the illusion, and that's what you need right now. Unfortunately,
not a mirage.
Because Curry, like, don't get it twisted. Curry is not above asking out. Curry could definitely ask out and leave Golden State. And what happens now?
So if we're talking about hypotheticals, where would he go?
Anywhere.
If he does.
There's no team that would not want Curry right now.
I would know.
Could you imagine any team having a shooter like Curry? Put him on the Bucks.
Where I would send him. I already know where I would send him.
Where would you send him?
The Nuggets.
Put him on the Nuggets.
You put him on the Nuggets with Jokic? Oh my God.
Put him on the 76ers. Maybe for one, Joel Embiid will be healthy.
I think the J-Dub. Let's keep it on the trademark of things. I got one more that I kind of like that I
You
feel
mentioned
like.
J-Dub. I'm so sad already.
Yeah, no. I'm not. He's not in a trade.
Okay.
He's not the trade. It was gonna be for a team like the Bucks. I think the Bucks can use someone like. I mean, because I think you think more on the line of defense. I think more on the line of like scoring output. I think someone like Zach LaVine would be kind of good for the Bucks. I know you're shaking your head, but I think more offense is not bad at all with that team. I don't think they lack defensively. I think
You know how you've asked me in the past to coach the content team? You're giving me more and more reasons to not want
It's
to ever
fine.
have you coach a
I
team.
love offense. I'll be honest with you.
You understand that the primary issue that the Bucks are having right
Is
now
that
is
they
that
can't
they are
defend.
not playing defense.
Yeah, so we're
and
gonna
they
outscore
have the
them.
ability to score already. The scoring's never been a concern for them. They can put the ball in the hands of players that are going to get a bucket. Even Bobby Portis off the bench can get a bucket whenever they need him to, whether it's spotting up or whether it's picking up, popping. Giannis, of course,
It just
unstoppable
gives them-
force. Like,
Bro, it just gives them
whatever.
that pop.
Whatever.
It
The
gives
issue
them
is
that pop.
We've
It's
already
just, it's
seen
just
what happens.
highlights for you. That's all it is. You
It's
just
not
want to
highlights,
see
it
more
gives you
show,
that
more
pop.
threes getting shot up, more
No.
dunks. Like, that's not going to make them a better team. Zach LaVine does not make the Bucks a better team.
Bro, it's just the way you look at basketball. It doesn't have to be the way I look at basketball. You could just agree to disagree. You don't always got to feel like I'm saying highlights or content. I just feel like when it comes to pop and it comes to like,
Pop?
meaning.
Oh, no, never mind. Sorry. I misunderstood.
No, not pop.
Yeah, I misunderstood. Go ahead.
Shout out
No,
Taylor
you're
Swift.
good. When I'm saying like off the bench, they need help off the bench. They don't have any scoring off the bench. That's what I'm saying. I'm putting him in a position like that. I'm not saying he's gonna be their savior. I'm just saying when it comes to like off the bench, when Dame's off the floor, Giannis off the floor, he's not a bad player to have there to be like, all right, Zach, go get us a bucket while these two guys rest.
But the issue is
So
Zach
now we're
LaVine is
also
never
going to
playing
bring
off the
Zach
bench at
LaVine
50
off the
mil.
bench.
Yeah, definitely. Zach would come off the bench.
There's
No, he
there's
would not.
50 million. You're
No,
paying
he would
50
not.
million a year
I'm
to
sa-
take.
again, that's one that I would like to watch. Something I would love to see. But I know
Oh,
it's
and
not.
pure hypothetical.
Yeah, pure hypothetical. Not, you know what I'm saying? I just think they need someone, like they need like maybe even a Jordan Clarkson. If it's not going to be Zach, someone like a Jordan Clarkson would be a good fit for them. Like that gives them that like off the bench presence when they're not on the court.
I would rather them go for Jordan Clarkson because I know they're not giving up much, and I know his role is solely going to be off the bench.
Maybe
And I know that would work.
I got to
for him.
put a player that's actually off the bench on there, then it would be Jordan Clarkson. And if that would be
Yeah, I wouldn't want Jordan Clarkson on there either, but I think Zach LaVine would not come off the bench at all for that team. And even if he does, I don't think he makes a difference. Well, he makes a difference. You know, he had something to the table. Of course, Zach LaVine is a great player, but that's not what takes them over the top to me. Like, they need to add defense. They need to win games, and they're going to need to win games by playing defense. They're going to need to be switchable. They're going to need to be a bigger threat, and it's all about beating the Celtics. It's all about beating the Celtics. And right now, you don't want to add another guard.
So they need a wing. You think they need a wing?
I think they need a bigger body, and Herb Jones is an example of bigger body. He's a 6'8" wing. I think a 6'5" shooting guard is not going to be it.
Yeah.
I think you're looking like even a Lou Dort. He may not be 6'8", but he's a big
What
body.
about a Marcus Smart?
Marcus Smart, I think would help. I think that he would help.
Yeah, Marcus Smart would help. He's just injury prone, so I wouldn't really invest too much in that.
But so was Drew Holiday
Damn. Yeah.
before they
couldn't-
got him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Drew Holiday
Yeah,
was injury prone.
That's
Who
true.
else would be in that realm?
Like a Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, pretty much all of the
They're all
OKC Thunder.
pivotal. Yeah, they're all pivotal. to
Every
what team
single
they're on.
person on that roster.
Yeah, I think Herb Jones is a good pickup out of available players. I can't think of a lot of players that would be available right now.
Dylan Brooks.
I actually think a Denny Adia would be good for them. Actually, very good for them.
I think
a very good
I think he
defender.
would be useful. I think he's a little bit on the younger side. I don't know if they want to go younger to make a playoff push.
Isn't he older than Herb? Pretty sure he's older.
DiVincenzo won with the Bucks, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, he did
is
win
he?
with the Bucks.
No, I thought he got traded.
Denny seems kind of young to me. I could be wrong though. I guess.
What if the Bucks can manufacture? I'm stuck on this Bucks thing. What if the Bucks can manufacture a trade for DiVincenzo? I think bringing him back home.
What are they going to give up to the Timberwolves, though?
Like,
If DiVincenzo can return to his old self, yes, but which I think he can, but it's tough to make that trade now. Watching him play now, it's tough to decide to make that decision. But yes, if he can return to his old self, yes, because he's a solid playmaker, giving Dame an ability to play off the ball.
Denny's been in the league longer, but Herb is older. He came in at like 22.
Oh, but
I'm gonna leave it alone now.
But yeah, I think yeah, DiVincenzo would be a good fit. It's just a matter of can he return to his old self, which I think he can. I think he can. I think he just doesn't like it in Minnesota, to be honest. I think that's why he's playing.
I heard players hate Minnesota, like actually like living there and shit like that.
Yeah, I would never want to go to Minnesota in my life, but I guess that's enough for the NBA talk since it seems like the conversation's dying down.
For sure.
But let's talk about some GM5, y'all. Let's wrap up the day with some GM5 talk. The GM5 is about to wrap up this Saturday, championship weekend. As we all predicted, as we all expected, game time versus on the bench.
I'm excited.
Who do you guys got?
We're going to be there this weekend. I got game time, but I fully believe OTB has all the ability in the world to make that happen, to make that win happen. But, you know, the favorite is, of course, game time.
All it takes is 1 foot on the line from Luke
starters
Doyle.
for OTB?
Who what?
Who are the starters for OTB? Do we know? Yeah.
I mean,
fully fledged?
depending on who shows up, I guess.
I would hope that they are. This is a championship game. This is the last game.
It depends. I think if ODT.
Old dirty bastard.
It depends if on the bench is fully stacked. I think I got on the bench, but it's going to be close. This is going to be one of those games where he got a basket, he gets a basket, there's a stop there, they got to stop. We've seen it before, even when they weren't fully, stacked. I saw it. You guys left. So I don't know. I got on the bench.
I think the secret is Rod. He's had some games where he's gone like supernova. He's had some games where he played kind of regular, some games where he didn't play as well he normally does. We saw kind of inconsistent at times. If he comes out and he plays like Rod,
if he can match Dom, like, you know what I'm
he
saying?
doesn't even have to match Dom. He just needs to drop an efficient 20. If he drops an efficient 20, Rod.
Oh. What's an efficient 20 for you?
An efficient 20 is, I'm thinking like even 45% shooting. That's efficient.
Okay.
Like not taking too many crazy shots, primarily off of threes. I think that's great.
In rhythm type thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
The next piece is doing whatever you can to just not give them free throws.
And that's been their MO, game time's MO.
And that team they're good at they understand how to position themselves to get fouls. Just position yourself to where you're not fouling. Do whatever you can. That's the best thing I could say.
Great advice.
That's crazy.
They're good at drawing fouls. Just don't.
You
foul
guys
them.
are better. You guys are more knowledgeable at this than I am. So if you're coming to me for advice, you've lost. Unfortunately, please don't come to me.
I would say this. I think stopping the transition for on the bench. I think sometimes they struggle with teams that are good in transition. So I think if they can stop that transition basketball, I think this game will be close. If they can't, I think game time can blow them out. Even though I still got them winning, I just feel like there's certain things that can unlock something that game time does. Because game time can either play in transition and they can play half court. So it's just got to pick your poison with them type of thing.
Yeah, OTB is going to have to just create the best offense possible. I think that's the key to their success. They have to create the best offense possible to get as many easy shots and open shots as they can get. If they try to have a battle of who can make the most difficult shots, I think game time wins that battle. I think
every time
because at the end of the day, you're going to fight to make difficult shots against them, and they're going to take easy shots every single time. They're going to move the ball. They're going to cut without the ball, and they're going to do all the right things. I think the ball needs to be in Melo's hands every single possession, and it typically is. So this is nothing new that I'm saying. So they already know the game plan. But they need to make great offense happen every single possession. Take their time. Don't take any crazy shots. Just game time is too disciplined of a team for them to go out there and try to win off of, crazy shots and difficult shots, long threes and contested layups and all that kind of stuff. It's generate the best offense possible. At this level of basketball, it could be very easy to get engulfed in the moment. With a running clock, with, a very quick game, last maybe 45 minutes, 50 minutes, it could be really easy to lose your way. But if they can play the best offense possible, defensively they have the ability to lock in. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be a very tough matchup, but I got Game Time winning because I trust Game Time's basketball to be more successful than OTB's basketball. That's just really what I believe.
What do they say in football? Keep your eyes on a quarterback? Is that what they say?
Keep
Sean,
your eyes on
you
the
have
ball.
to keep your eye on Sean at all times. When he gets a rebound, you guys should already be back down court.
Yeah, they got to get back on defense.
Because
They
you
can't
know
lie.
that they're going for transitions. You know
Yeah.
immediately. When you see Shane, should we say that? Should we give him advice? When you see Shane looking at someone, you know there's a cut. They said that on the podcast, the episode anyway.
Yeah, whoever Shane is looking at, he's about to hit you with a backdoor cut. So please, keep your eyes open, all right? But at the end of every season, GM5 does their awards. They have not awards, but their lists and their rankings of certain categories. They have a very unique list of things that they like to recognize players for. And we were asked to make our own list. So we are going to reveal our list of the top 5 shooters, in our opinion, currently in GM5.
The AP presents Atlanta Sports.
HoopTalk
And
exclusive.
top 5 point guards as well. Those are 2 unique rankings that they like to do every year. And they did ask for top defenders, but instead of top defenders, we actually decided to do an all GM5 first, second, and third team, and an all GM5 defensive first team and defensive second team. So that's going to cover our top 5 defenders right there.
And our top 10.
Yeah, top 10 realistically. But let's talk through best shooters. So who we decided to put on the list here. And we'll talk about them shortly after we mention them. We have Luke Doyle, of course. We believe Luke Doyle is the best shooter in the game right now at GM5. Attempting 9 threes per game, shooting 45% is just outrageous. That's Stephen Curry-like right there. Roderick Lawrence, 9 threes per game as well attempted, and shooting 45%. He's our second spot. Marquise cannot be denied from City Ballers, attempting 11 threes per game, shooting 40.8. The percentage, of course, is significantly lower than the other two from a three-point percentage perspective. 4% is pretty different. But 11 threes per game, that's crazy. The fact that teams are allowing him to chuck it up that often, that's crazy.
But he's also making 40% of them.
Making 40% is insane.
He's making 4.2 threes a game?
Yeah, 4.6. 4.6 threes made. For these next 2, I didn't write down their numbers, but we have Dom Douglas as our 4th best shooter in the league because they do consider mid-range as a factor as well, which is why we also added Aaron Farrington as our 5th best shooter in GM5 right now. Because we believe both those guys can knock it down from the three-point line, but they're also very good at knocking it down from the mid-range. So as a shooter overall, we do believe that they deserve credit for being 2 of the best shooters the league has to offer.
Shout out to them boys.
It's crazy how there's 5 names but only 3 teams
Yeah, I
involved
know.
in this top 5. It's crazy.
2 from one team, 2 from another.
But who's your favorite shooter of the league right now?
My favorite to watch is Marquise because it's just funny. He just pulls up anywhere, bro.
Yeah, he really does.
He is this league's Michael Porter Jr. And but when he shoots it though, I do expect him to make it.
Yeah.
It's not like he's chucking a bad shots. But
I mean, for me, it's Dom. Dom is just so fluid. He gets to his spots, and if he gets to his spot, it's going in. It's no, you know what I'm saying. We got to watch a 40-point game live. Was it 40 or 50?
might have been a 50.
I don't remember. Did
I
he
think it was
score
a
50
40.
this year? I don't remember.
I think it was a 40 ball. It might have been a 40 ball, but regardless, we got to watch Dom at work, and we got to see exactly how it works. So I know that was one of my favorite games this year. Was with Dom.
My favorite's Luke. I just love great basketball. A shout out to OTB. They do a phenomenal job of looking for Luke. They do a phenomenal job of getting him open. And Luke, man, he just his footwork is phenomenal. His ability, his form is phenomenal. He is one of the purest shooters I've ever witnessed at any level of basketball. And Luke, if you're watching this, man, we'd love to have you on the Serpents. All right, just letting you know right now, Volusia County Serpents. I heard you went to Stetson University, man. Hit me up. Hit me up in the comment section. We could talk. All right, we could talk. We could use you. All right, we could use you a lot. But
He's
He's begging. He is begging.
I'm recruiting. But then moving on to our top 5 point guards in GM5 right now, we got Romello Bates. We have Tommy Dennis, which is a controversial decision. Some consider Tommy a bit of a two guard. Some consider him a combo guard. I do believe Tommy is just a shooting or / scoring point guard. That's how I view it. Very similar to a player like no, I'm not saying they play the same, but I'm saying a player like Curry or Kyrie, where they're scoring point guards. You know what I mean? Their primary goal is to score the basketball. So that doesn't make him a shooting guard just because he shoots a lot or scores a lot. You know, Devin Jackson, shout out D-Jax, and Jalen Merritt, Sixth Man of the Year candidate, probably guaranteed winner right there, and Kenny Long. Those are our top 5 point guards. Who's your favorite point guard in the league? We already know who Orlando's is.
He didn't make the list, but it's fine. I'll use someone on the list. I'll go with Melo. I think Melo.
You get any point guard, it don't matter to me.
I mean, I love Lou, Lulu, but I'm gonna be fair and I'm gonna go
Who's
with
Lulu?
Oh my God, I just called him his brother's name.
What's his name?
Who is it? You know what you're gonna say? What is happening here?
I'm having a brave fart. No, I'm having a brave fart.
Lito?
Yeah.
Oh,
Lulu's his brother's name,
all
bro.
right, Tyler.
I said Lito too, but
who's your favorite point guard?
No, hold on.
You say
hold on.
Lito?
No,
I
Melo. I was gonna say Melo. I think Melo.
you can do Lito.
No,
No, Lito's obviously your favorite point guard.
He
Don't,
is, but
don't
we
do
all
that
know
now.
that already. Everybody knows
Exactly.
You
So there you go.
say it.
Lito is his favorite point guard. He's just trying to be different.
Oh my
He's
God!
just
I
trying
call
to-
this man-
Tyler,
I'm sorry,
who's your
Lito,
favorite
for
point
giving
guard?
your
Crying right
brother's
now
name
because we
out.
won't let him pick Lito. Look at the tears.
So,
Tyler, who's your favorite point guard in the league right
God
now?
damn, I can't have my own pick.
My pick on the list was Kenny Long. He had like a down year efficiently, but I mean, watching his games, he did control the offense for City Ballers, and we always talked about how close they were to winning those games. We talked about how their actual standings did not really match up to how they were playing throughout the season. They were losing games within like 1 to 3 to 4.
He had a game winner too. He had one of the only game winners.
Yeah, he did hit a game winner, and I mean, as an actual point guard, I do think that he's one of the best. He has the highest assist average too. One of the highest assists. One of the
Melo
highest
has the
assists
highest.
to who?
Melo.
Oh, he has one of the highest assist to turnover ratios. I apologize. Who's
But
your
yeah,
favorite?
I agree. Kelly Long is a great point guard for sure. And Melo, Melo is my favorite point guard in the league. He's just a standard point guard. I love old school basketball. I just love old school basketball. He just plays the game the right way. He's just a high IQ player. He understands what to do, when to do it. He takes pride on the defensive end, and that's one of the best things to see in basketball. Somebody who just really takes pride in locking in defensively and getting every stop that they can possibly fathom in a game. So yeah, shout out to Melo, who's actually All-Star captain for the All-Star game in a couple weeks. Shout out to him. So those are our top 5 point guards. And then I think I put my other list somewhere else. Let me pull it up real quick. And then we decided to take upon ourselves to make all GM5 first team, second team, and third team. And all defensive first team and second team. So let's run through this list from bottom to top to make it a little bit more exciting.
Before you say this, though, we did follow an order, so it's 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center.
Yeah.
Keep that in
we
mind.
made it
So
fun.
this is not
No,
just-
we just did 2 guards, 3 forwards.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. 2 guards, 3 forwards. So this is not just the NBA is currently doing it, where it's just the top 5. This is specific. We were looking for positions.
And we based it off of what's listed on the GM5 website. So whether you believe it or not, that's what GM5 has it listed as. That's what was reported to GM5.
Straight statistics.
So that's what we go based off of, who was a forward and who was a guard. So if you don't agree, that's not on us. That's just our research. All
It's
right.
on you.
All GM5 third team, our 2 guards that made the list, is going to be D-Jax and Luke Doyle. Doyle? It's Doyle, right? Doyle. For some reason,
yeah.
I don't know why my brain made
You
me
gotta
feel
get
like
that right
that
if
was
you're
wrong.
gonna
Call
recruit him.
Lito
You have to get that
Lulu.
right.
You're fine.
Yeah, I don't know why my brain just made me feel like that was wrong. I don't know why. That
I
just
said his name
happened.
like 4 times today.
Yeah, right?
GM5.
I don't know what just happened there. My brain just shut off. Then we got the 3 forwards. It's going to be Ant Rice, Kevin Beans Jr., and Sean Sukup, ladies and gentlemen. That's our all GM5 third team. We'll try to have a little small graphic on the screen for y'all to be able to visualize it. All GM5 second team, we have Tommy Dennis. We have Marquise Page, I believe his last name is, if I'm not mistaken. We have Mustache Dom from the Enforcers. Nick Wallery and Rod Lawrence. That's our all GM5 second team right there. 2 guards and 3 forwards. The 2 guards being Tommy and Marquitas, according to GM5's website. Dom, Mustache Dom, Nick Wallery, and Rod Lawrence are the 3 forwards. We might want to fact check Mustache Dom. Did we even look to make sure?
I thought we did.
While he does
I
that,
think I was
though,
looking through all of them while we were doing it.
all GM5 first team. Actually, let's save this for last. Let's go to defensive team now.
You're sick.
Okay, fine. All GM5 first team is Romello Bates and Dom Douglas as guards. People say Dom is the forward for game time, and Aaron is the guard. It doesn't actually matter because Aaron also made our list. So just swap them if you want. It doesn't really matter.
The GM5 website says something different, so we follow
GM5
that.
website does say something different. So
Have your
AJ
beef with the GM5 people.
Yeah, AJ, Aaron, and Jeff Jean, ladies and gentlemen. That is a surprise entry, in my opinion, a surprise entry. But we believe Jeff Jean is all GM5 first team. You heard it here first. That, again, was Romello Bates,
hard.
Dom Douglas, AJ, Aaron, and Jeff Jean. Those were our all GM5 first team players, a.k.a. the 5 best players in the GM5 this year. All defensive first team, we have Jalen Merritt at the guard. We have D'Angelo Lee at the second guard spot. Aaron from Game Time. Darius from Count Up?
Yep.
Count Up, yeah. Darius from Count Up. And Brandon from Team Swift, correct? Brandon White, right? Brandon White from Team Swift. That's our all defensive second team. Our all defensive first team for GM5. After some careful consideration, we have Romello Bates at the first guard position. We have Jalen Monroe, who is my vote for Defensive Player of the Year, but
From Count Up.
we'll see how that goes. We have AJ, of course, and we have Ant Rice and Sean Sukup to round up the all GM5 or the GM5 all defensive first team. So let us know in the comments section what you guys think. Was our list legit? Was it a flop? Tell us who you would swap out. Tell us who you would add. Honestly, tell us who were the snubs. That's what we want to know. Comment below who the snubs for all these teams were. And that's all our list. I believe that's all we have for the podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
That's all I got. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. I got a dessert waiting for me at home. I made some homemade Cinnabons, so I'm excited. I had to bring that up because I'm a chef.
I also have dessert waiting at his house.
And guess what? I have dessert at his house too.
That's crazy.
That's all
We all rode together. That's why.
That's all we have, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Share with all your basketball friends and family. Share with all the hoop fans you know. Share with anybody. Leave a comment section if you're still here. Let us know that you're still showing love. We appreciate the support. And we'll be back next week. We're back consistently. We're back every single week, hopefully, if nothing changes.
Flu
so
season.
let's hoop talk next week, y'all.
Listen,
For sure.
If you're still here in the comments, comment I wasn't left out bad and bougie.
I love